You also mentioned the importance of listening to your body. I think that's a big thing. And what are some of the signals or signs to look or listen for that might give us an indication that something's up?
Let's take fatigue, for instance. It's not normal to be tired all the time, to be fatigued. Matter of fact, it's one of the number one symptoms when it comes to cancer. People are tired. Your body is tired trying to fight something. You know, we think, well, it's just I didn't sleep well, which could be the case. We're under stress. But when you're tired constantly, you know, that's not a good sign. But more importantly, I mean, the fatigue, but you have to pay attention to what your body is telling you. I think when you're eating foods, okay, or when you're in an environment that's new to you. So if you start having headaches, you know, you got to ask yourself, why do you have a headache? People don't get headaches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can get headaches from stress, right, musculoskeletal disorders, but you could also get stress from the environment. Are you in an environment where there's chemicals? You know, are you in a salon? Are you pumping gas at the gas station? You get these headaches. Did you get a headache after a meal, about an hour and a half after a meal? That's a red flag that something entered the body. Either you ingested it, you breathed it in, or it went on your skin. A lot of people don't look at that, but things that you put on your skin, lotions, I mean, you name it, has a huge impact on our system. And so if you're getting headaches, if you're tired, when you eat foods, are you bloated? Do you feel tired after a meal? Are you gassy? You have aches and pains? I mean, it's every little, I mean, people think, well, God, I'm aging. Well, you're not supposed to feel that way when you're 40 years old, unless you played football for 10 years like me. So really, it's the bottom line is people have to take the standard of their health a little bit higher, and not to think that what they're dealing with, they should be dealing with. Because they should. People should have energy. People should look good. And every once in a while, we all know someone. It's an Aunt Sally. It's an Uncle Tom, right? They have these bodies, and they're just fit. They're thin, and they're happy, and they're healthy, and they look great. And we're like, God, you know, how did they get the genetics? I didn't get them, right? But what we don't see is what they're doing. You know, and they get up in the morning, and the first thing they do is they slam down, 10 ounces of water, and they go for a walk. And they come home, and they have some poached eggs and berries, right? And they read an article on, antioxidants. And they go for lunch, and they have some, some steamed salmon and on a bed of spinach. And they go to the gym, right? So you have to bring the standard of living up and the standard of your health a lot higher. And when you do that, then you won't have to deal with the fatigue because, you know what? You'll have a little bit more respect for yourself and your body.
You mentioned keeping a journal, and when we talk about that, how important is that? I don't know how often we eat something and go, I shouldn't have eaten that, or the next day, and I don't even remember what I had for dinner last night.
Right.
We forget. We
You've
get
got
busy.
brain fog.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you get busy and you kind of forget. If you don't write this stuff down, if you don't write down, what sort of lotion you used that day, or what you ate, things like that. I mean, you got to really pay attention to some of that stuff.
Having a journal is probably the quickest and easiest way to determine what's causing your problems. As a person, you should be your own doctor. Physicians are just advisors. That's all they are. One of the big problems we have in America is we hand over this responsibility to doctors and we expect them to take care of us. If we can take that back, right, and take a little bit more responsibility for our health, I think we could solve a lot of problems in this country. Okay? Because you look at businesses go out of business because their number one priority are the dollars. Where the dollars go, their overhead goes to health care.
Yep.
And so if people could start feeling better by taking responsibility and not going to the doctor when they get a cold or they roll an ankle, ice it down. I mean, think about what people used to do 100 years ago, right? I mean, people took care of themselves.
Sure.
And now we're not. So specifically, if you have a condition, if you have a health problem, you must keep a journal to see if your treatment program's working. Don't leave it up to them because tests, when you go and take a blood test, it's not necessarily true. A lot of blood tests just, they don't represent how you're feeling. And specifically with people with hypothyroidism, they know that. Because doctors tell them all the time, hey, blood tests look fine. They're like, well, I don't feel fine. So it's important to journal to understand your body and what it's going through every day. So if you have symptoms, so if you have fatigue, if you have depression, you have an ache in your right shoulder, write those down and grade it on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 is excruciating. 0, I've got no pain today. And look at it every single day and kind of jot down some numbers so you can gauge how you're feeling. And if you have other symptoms such as GI upsets or headaches, notice when they come on. Write the time down. I got a headache on such and such time on this day. And think about what you did prior to that, what you did after that. What did you eat? So that will help you be your own doctor. Because you could try to figure out through a physician if you have a food sensitivity. But the problem is these tests are inconclusive. I don't care who tells you what. You go in for a food sensitivity test, it's not written on stone that that's what's happening in your body.
Well, even blood tests, like you say.
Yeah.
You know, here's your range, 60
Right.
to 100 is normal. If
Right.
you're 60, well, you're still normal, but everybody's different, so
Right.
that's not even going to tell you that
There's
much.
a lot of people falling through the cracks. So in your best insurance policy is that journal and knowing your body. You can know your body, but you can go into a doctor's office and say, hey, look, this is how I'm feeling. This is what happened on this day. You know, I think you got a little bit more credibility instead of just talking to a physician. And so it's only going to help you in the long run.